I understand he's 7'5". Bro, you ain't 6'5", you 7'1".
You thought you could play like some stir fry and your team was gonna win?
Hell no. Hell no.
Okay. I need you to bring that same type of energy. I need you to bring that same type of tenacity. The world knows it. At some point, you got to put your feet in the ground and say, I want some of this smoke.
So Chet Holmgren has been receiving major backlash for his performance in the Western Conference Finals. And I think it's finally time we had that conversation. Chet Holmgren is one of the best young players in the NBA. He's one of the best young defenders in basketball. He's incredibly versatile for his size, and he's already accomplished a lot at a very young age. A championship with the Thunder, second place in DPOY, and even an All-Star. But there's just one thing I can't ignore. Victor Wembanyama.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Even though not in the same draft class, people were comparing Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren before they even made it to the NBA. Their skill set, their ability to handle the basketball, their shooting, their shot blocking, and the fact that both of them were considered once-in-a-generation type of prospects, the comparisons between the two had no limit. Once Wemby entered the league, the comparisons got even worse. But now that they have actually met on one of the biggest stages possible, the Western Conference Finals, I think the conversation changed. It wasn't just people on television debating who was better. They were actually competing against each other. And unfortunately for Chet, this series did not go the way he imagined. But before we continue this video, it has been brought to my attention that majority of y'all watching this video are not subscribed. It would mean a whole lot to me if you subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you don't miss the next upload. But with all that being said, man, cue the intro. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy maribeyondthearc, and today we have officially moved, guys. Yes, for the foreseeable future, this will be our new home. This will be the new background. I do have to get some stuff, so this is not the official background. But anyways, we're going to be talking about Chet Holmgren. Now, if you only started watching basketball just recently, you might think the whole Chet versus Wemby thing just started because of Rookie of the Year. But this actually goes way further than that. Before the NBA, before Oklahoma City, and before San Antonio, these two were already being compared as young prospects. And honestly, you can understand why. When you looked at Chet Holmgren, you saw a 7-footer who could shoot the basketball, bring it up the court, and block shots. Then you look at Wemby, and it's almost like someone saw Chet's exact build and said, what if we made him 7'5"? Both of these guys were doing things that players their size usually don't do. So naturally, people wanted to compare them. Even though Chet was a year ahead of Wemby in terms of draft eligibility, the comparisons were always there. But then, they finally got the opportunity to play against each other on the international stage. And this is one of the most interesting parts of their entire history.
Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to Riga, Latvia. It's time for the final of the FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup between the United States of America and France.
The 2021 FIBA Under-19 World Final. United States versus France. Chet Holmgren versus Victor Wembanyama. And if you look at the stats from that game, you could honestly argue that Wemby had the better individual performance. Wemby finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 blocks. 8 blocks. That is ridiculous. Chet finished with 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. So Wemby outscored him by 12 points. Team USA won the game. They beat France 83-81, and Chet Holmgren was named the MVP of their entire tournament. So imagine being Wemby. You put up 22 points, you dominate defensively, you even outscored Chet, and then your team loses by 2 points, and the guy that you've been compared to walks away with the championship and the MVP. Imagine going through that, and then years later, when you get drafted into the NBA, the same guy that stole that championship from you now is being compared to you again. When Chet entered the NBA, he was already viewed as one of the best young prospects in basketball. The only problem was that he missed his first season with an injury. So when he finally made his NBA debut during the 2023-2024 NBA season, Victor Wembanyama was entering the league at the exact same time. And from that point on, the comparison became impossible to avoid. People constantly debated these two, and statistically, Wemby was clearly having a better individual season. During his rookie year, Wemby averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. Chet averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. And don't get me wrong, Chet's stat line is excellent for a rookie, but Wemby just blows it out of proportion. But there was one thing that Chet had that Wemby didn't: winning. The Spurs were terrible during Wemby's rookie season. They were one of the worst teams in the NBA. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City was becoming one of the best young teams in basketball, and Chet was a major reason why. The Thunder already had SGA and J-Dub, but then you add Chet to that, and it really becomes scary. He can protect the rim, he can space the floor, and he didn't need the ball in his hands all the time. So while Wemby was putting up better numbers, Chet was winning a lot of games, and the media had to say this about it.
Again, I would say as of today, they're neck and neck. They're tied to me. And that's why the beautiful thing about the NBA is we probably have, those teams have 38 to 36 more games.
Now, guys, I think we can all agree with this. If Chet was on the Spurs, they would be a pretty good team, with the roster they got. But if Wemby joined the Thunder, it would literally break the NBA. When Wemby was asked about the rivalry between himself and Chet Holmgren, he basically said there was no comparison, at least from a basketball standpoint. That's a bold thing to say, because now every time these two play against each other, people are always going to remember that. But on the other side, when Chet was asked about the rivalry, this is what he had to say.
This was a lead up.
People will be like, y'all got beef? I'm like, beef?
Yeah.
Like, we're out there competing, but beef means like when I see you, like, we're fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't got, why
y'all don't hate each other, but y'all.
Why do I got beef with him? I honestly don't even know the guy. Like,
right.
we just play basketball against each other.
Oh, man. Gotta love my guy, Chet, man. I understand he wants to keep the peace, but in order to be something like that, you need to partake into whatever he has going on, because it's genuinely starting to look bad. Now let's get into the real reason why I'm making this video. The Western Conference Finals were supposed to be one of the biggest series of Chet Holmgren's young career, because think of the situation. You're playing against the Spurs, you're playing against Wemby, and you're trying to get to another NBA Finals. This wasn't some random regular season game. This was the stage, and Chet struggled. Over a 7-game series, Chet averaged 10 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block per game, while also shooting a horrid 27% from the 3. And when you compare that to Wemby, the difference becomes even harder to ignore. Wemby averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in the series. That's the part that really hurt Chet. It wasn't just that Oklahoma City lost, it was who they lost to, and it was how the two players performed. Wemby looked like the best player in the series, and Chet looked like he was struggling to consistently make an impact offensively. Chet already knows he's a good player. I mean, everybody knows that. But being good isn't the goal for Oklahoma City anymore. The Thunder have real championship expectations, and when you have championship expectations, your weaknesses eventually get exposed. In the regular season, you can get away with a bad game, but in the playoffs, teams are going to attack what you struggle with over and over again. And if the Spurs continue to be that team standing in Oklahoma City's way, then Chet has to figure out a way to overcome Wembanyama. Because right now, Wemby has the momentum, he won the playoff series, he put up better numbers, and San Antonio moved forward. Chet has to take this matchup personally, because if he doesn't, I can see the Thunder's journey ending time and time again in San Antonio. But what do you guys think? Can Chet close the gap between himself and Wembanyama? Do you think he's being judged too harshly? And finally, is this an actual rivalry? Let me know down in the comments, because I really want to hear from y'all. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because we are dropping banger after banger, and we are officially growing the arc. But with all that being said, man, my name is maribeyondthearc. I'm taking a step back until our next upload. Peace.